It's a choice you make almost every day, often without a second thought. But this single decision, whole wheat or white, quietly shapes your energy levels, your mental focus, and your long-term health. Today, we're finally getting a clear answer. We eat flour constantly. It's the foundation of our comfort foods, the bread for our sandwiches, the crust of our pizza, the batter for our pancakes, the base of our cookies. It's woven into the fabric of our meals. But despite its constant presence, many of us are flying blind in the grocery aisle. We don't really know what we're buying, or more importantly, what it's doing to our bodies once we eat it. Stores present a wall of options, with bags covered in buzzwords like artisan, unbleached, and all natural. It's designed to be confusing. Whole wheat sounds healthy, rustic, and responsible. White flour looks clean, pure, and soft, the key to light, fluffy treats. So which one is actually better for you? And is the difference really that big of a deal? Let's cut through the noise and make this simple. This is whole wheat versus white flour. No hype, no marketing jargon, just clear, practical answers you can use today. This is Consumer's Choice Top 5. Before we dive in, like this video if you want to make smarter, healthier picks at the grocery store. And subscribe for more fast, no-nonsense food breakdowns that save you time and money. Now, drop a comment below. Whole wheat or white? What's your go-to flour right now and why do you choose it? Let's start with the one we see most often, white flour. To understand any flour, you first need to know that it all begins as a whole wheat kernel. Think of this kernel as a tiny natural powerhouse with three distinct parts: the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. To create that familiar bright white flour, industrial mills put the wheat kernel through a refining process. The goal is to strip away two of its three parts, the outer bran layer and the inner germ. But here's the crucial part. The bran and germ are where nearly all the nutrition is. The bran is packed with fiber, B vitamins, and minerals. The germ contains healthy fats, antioxidants like vitamin E, and even more B vitamins. These nutrient-dense parts are systematically removed, often to be sold off as animal feed or for other industrial uses. So what's left behind? Only the endosperm. And the endosperm is almost entirely starch, with a little bit of protein. It's the grain's energy reserve, but it's nutritionally one-dimensional. This refining process is why white flour has that superfine, silky texture and a very mild, neutral taste. It also gives it a much longer shelf life, because the oils in the germ are what can go rancid over time. From a baker's perspective, this is fantastic for creating delicate cakes, airy pastries, and fluffy white breads. But from a nutritional standpoint, it's a shadow of the original grain. It's been stripped of its most valuable components. Now, let's turn to whole wheat. As the name implies, it's the whole story. To make whole wheat flour, the entire kernel is simply ground up. Nothing is removed. It keeps all three parts, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm, working together as nature intended. Let's break down what each part brings to the table. The bran, that tough outer layer, is a fiber powerhouse. It's what adds bulk and helps with digestion. It also provides a significant amount of B vitamins. The germ is the nutrient-rich embryo of the kernel. It's loaded with healthy polyunsaturated fats, vitamin E, which acts as a powerful antioxidant, and another dose of B vitamins. And finally, you still get the endosperm, which provides the starchy carbohydrates for energy, just like in white flour. Because it contains the entire kernel, whole wheat flour delivers far more fiber, more vitamins, and a broader spectrum of essential minerals like iron, magnesium, and zinc. You can see, feel, and taste the difference immediately. Whole wheat flour is darker in color, has a coarser, heavier texture, and makes you feel full and satisfied much faster. Its flavor is more complex, often described as nutty, earthy, and robust. Some people are put off by this stronger taste and denser texture because they're so accustomed to the pillowy softness of white flour products. That's a fair point. But here's where whole wheat delivers its biggest win. That win is fiber. On average, whole wheat flour contains about 4 times more dietary fiber than its refined white counterpart. This isn't just a number on a label. That fiber is critical for maintaining a healthy digestive system. It can help lower LDL, or bad cholesterol, and it plays a vital role in keeping your blood sugar levels stable. But wait, what about those added nutrients in white flour? You've seen the words on the bag, enriched or fortified. This sounds good, but what does it actually mean? Enrichment is a process where manufacturers add back a handful of the nutrients that were lost during refining. By law, this usually includes 4 specific B vitamins: thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and folic acid, plus iron. But they don't add back the fiber. They don't add back the vitamin E, the healthy fats, the magnesium, the zinc, or the host of other phytonutrients that were stripped away with the Bran and Germ. It's like taking a complex natural machine, gutting it, and then screwing a few of the original parts back on. It's simply not the same as the complete, original package. Now let's talk about energy. This is where the difference becomes something you can feel every single day. To understand this, we need to look at the glycemic index, or GI. It's a simple scale that measures how quickly a food causes your blood sugar to rise. White flour, being mostly simple starch with no fiber to slow it down, has a high GI. It digests very quickly. This causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar, giving you a quick burst of energy. But what goes up must come down. That spike is followed by a sharp crash, leaving you feeling tired, foggy, and craving more sugary food. This is the classic mid-afternoon slump. Whole wheat flour, on the other hand, has a much lower GI. Why? Because all that fiber from the bran acts like a brake, slowing down the digestion of the starch. This means the sugar is released into your bloodstream slowly and steadily. You get a gentle, sustained rise in energy that lasts for hours. No dramatic crash. No sudden cravings. Just stable, reliable energy that helps you stay focused and productive. So what does all this mean for your long-term health? The implications are significant. For weight management, the fiber in whole wheat is your best friend. It helps you feel full and satisfied with smaller portions, reducing the likelihood of overeating. That feeling of fullness lasts longer, helping you avoid mindless snacking between meals. For heart health, numerous studies have linked regular consumption of whole grains to a lower risk of heart disease. This is partly thanks to the soluble fiber, which can help lower LDL cholesterol and the other vitamins and minerals that support cardiovascular function. And for blood sugar control, choosing whole wheat is a powerful strategy. By preventing those sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar, you reduce the strain on your body's insulin response. Over time, this can lower your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. For those who already manage their blood sugar, whole wheat is the clear, smarter daily choice. But what about performance in the kitchen? This is where the choice gets practical. White flour creates light, airy textures because its fine consistency allows long, strong strands of gluten to form without interruption. It's ideal for angel food cake, delicate pastries, and soft dinner rolls. Whole wheat flour behaves differently. The small, sharp pieces of bran actually cut through the gluten strands, resulting in a denser, heavier final product. This makes it perfect for hearty artisan breads, rustic muffins, and flavorful pizza crusts that can stand up to lots of toppings, but you don't have to choose one or the other. Here's a pro tip. Start by mixing them. For many recipes like pancakes, cookies, or quick breads, you can substitute half the white flour with whole wheat flour. This 50-50 blend gives you a significant nutritional boost, more fiber, more minerals, while still retaining some of the lighter texture you love. It's the perfect bridge to help your taste buds adapt. Now, let's talk about reading the labels, because marketers are experts at fooling you. If a package of bread or flour simply says wheat flour or enriched wheat flour, that is just a fancy name for white flour. To be sure you're getting the real deal, you must look for the words 100% whole wheat or whole grain wheat flour listed as the very first ingredient. Don't be tricked by the term multigrain. That simply means the product contains more than one type of grain, but they could all be refined. And don't be fooled by color. A brown bread isn't necessarily whole wheat. The color could just be from added molasses or caramel coloring. The ingredient list is your only source of truth. always read it. So after all that, which one should you actually eat? For your everyday health, the science is clear. Choose 100% whole wheat most of the time. You get more fiber for better digestion, you feel full longer, you get steadier, more reliable energy, and you consume a much wider array of essential nutrients. This doesn't mean white flour is evil or that you should ban it forever. It's simply a highly refined food that's easy to overconsume. Think of it as a specialty ingredient. Use it for those occasions that call for its unique texture. A light birthday cake, a delicate pastry, or a special holiday bread. The key word is balance. Make whole wheat your daily workhorse. It's the foundation for your sandwiches, your morning toast, and your weekday pasta. Save the white flour for those moments that truly need its specific properties. For overall health, sustained energy, and pure nutritional value, whole wheat wins. It's not even a close contest. If this breakdown helped clear things up, please hit that like button, share it with friends and relatives, and comment below. Are you ready to make the switch to whole wheat, or will you start with a 50-50 blend? And be sure to subscribe to Consumer's Choice Top 5 for more quick food truths that lead to smarter everyday choices, and check out our previous videos. We'll see you in the next one soon.